Hey, welcome, and thanks for stopping by Edinburgh International Book Festival. My name is Anders. I'm an illustrator, and last year I did this book, An Amazing Animal Atlas of Scotland, published by Flores Books in Edinburgh, and it's a book about Scottish animals and wildlife. And besides being full of my illustrations, the book is full of fun facts about the wildlife found in Scotland. And today we're going to be drawing some of my favourite animals from the book. We're going to be drawing two animals, the wildcat and the beaver. And I'll be taking us through how to draw them, sort of step by step. So grab some paper and a pen or two, and let's get started. Good luck. You're going to need two pens or pencils. One that is dark, we're going to use that for the outline and the stripes. And then one lighter pen or pencil that is going to be used to colour in the fur of the wildcat. Now in real life, wildcats, they tend to have sort of brown greyish fur, but of course the colour of the fur of the wildcat that we're going to be drawing, it can have any colour that you want. But it would be useful if you've got two pens, one dark and one lighter, so that you can tell the difference. Okay, so let's start drawing the outline and the stripes of the wildcat. So grab your dark coloured pen or pencil and let's get started. Now I'll be drawing this on the computer, so you won't see the pen that I'm drawing with. I'm drawing on a tablet, so you'll only see the cursor on the screen. Just to let you know that. Okay, let's get started on the wildcat. So we'll start on sort of this upper corner of the paper here, and we're going to draw a line like this. And from here, you're going to draw another line like this, but the opposite direction. And this is going to be the head of the wildcat. So I'm going to draw in some ears. And we've got ourselves an outline of the head. And now I'm going to draw the nose of the wildcat down here with this little V. And you can see that's the mouth of the wildcat. And now for the eyes. I'm going to draw in a big line all from the edge of the head and into the middle. And then on the other side, I'll do the same. And in here, I'll draw lines under, and that's going to be the eyes. And it's going to be looking down, and a little mouse we're going to draw here later. So we'll draw in the eyes of the wildcat like that. Okay, let's draw in some stripes as well. You'll see this line here, it's actually a stripe, and it's got a line under the eye as well, and then a line here. And that's going to be symmetrical, so it'll be the same in the other side. And then for the top of the head, what they usually do is have lines like this, and maybe one going down from the top there. They've got little markings under their eyes as well, and they've got markings like this too. And then for the ears, we're just going to colour that in. Okay, now for the legs of the wildcat, we're going to start with the right leg of the cat, but from the head here, I'm going to draw a line down, and then another line next to it, and that's the front paw of the wildcat, and we can give it, or the front leg, and we can give it some toes down at the paw. Draw a line here which indicates the chest, and from the other side of the head we're going to draw a sausage like this, and you'll see that that's the other leg of the wildcat. And for the rest of the body, like we're gonna draw something that looks a bit like a potato maybe. And you have to pretend that this is one continuous line, but you won't see that because the front leg overlaps here. Like this. And then from the back here, we're going to give it a tail. Now wildcats, they've got big bushy tails, so we'll make another sausage like this. And then from here, you see this line here? I'm going to draw that line out like that, and we're going to draw a foot. And here we're going to draw another leg. That's like the back leg of our wildcat. And then if you've got an eraser, we can kind of clean this line up a bit because we won't, because this leg will overlap as well. Alright, so we've got the outline of our wildcat now, but we need a very important thing, and that is the stripes. So let's get working on those. Let's start with the tail. Now a characteristic of the wildcat is that it's got, at the end of the tail, it's got like black marking there. And then we'll just draw in stripes like this and color those in. On this leg over here, we're gonna follow the curve of the sausage like this. Right, and this leg is straight. It's going straight down like that. So we're just going to draw vertical straight stripes on this leg here all the way. Like in real life, these are not as straight as we're making the stripes, but we're simplifying things a little bit just to make it easier. Okay, now for the stripes of the legs. And it's the same, they kind of follow the curve of the leg. So actually these ones should be more straight, like that. And the same for this, for the back leg here. And then we're going to do sort of tiger stripes. Because the stripes do look a bit like, yeah, like they're miniature tigers. And that's actually like the outline of our wildcat. And then down here, we're going to draw a little mouse. So under the head, we're going to draw a line like this. And then another line. So you've got a shape like this. And then you draw a line down and a line up. Yeah. And now you draw two circles. And you connect these two lines there. And that's our wee little mouse. It's got to have a tail as well. And it's got to have back legs. And an eye and a nose. So that's the mouse that the wildcat is looking at. Right, now for the colouring in. So grab your other pen or pencil. I'm using this brown colour here, but again, yours can be whatever colour you want. And let's start colouring in the bits. I'll draw in between the stripes, so I won't paint over them. Now wildcats used to be all over Britain, But now today they're very rare. There's only like 300 of them remaining in Scotland. They live in the Scottish Highlands. And that's because people started hunting them down many years ago, and the forest that they lived in would be cut down, and you know, they would breed with regular house cats, which would also further make their numbers smaller. So today, yeah, the wildcat is one of the most endangered species in Scotland. So I'm trying not to paint over the line work that we did. It might be easier, because this is on the computer, it's all on one layer, so if I paint over the line work, the brown color will cover the darker outline completely. So we might need to do a bit of retouching in the end. But for now, let's get all of these filled in. For the head, this is a little bit more tricky. Because there's more detail there. But let's try and get... It's like a miniature tiger. The wildcat was one of my favorite animals to draw in the Animal Atlas of Scotland book. In that I did a little scene with wildcat kittens as well, and they're so cute. And this is the wildcat mum that we're drawing today. Or dad, I suppose, hunting the mouse to, yeah, maybe feed the little wildcat kittens. You'll notice this line here. So I won't draw full color on the nose, like on the mouth. Of the wildcat. Instead, I'll do lines, because that will give it just like a little bit lighter tone. And you see our wildcat is starting to come to life now. And it's just going to take a wee while to do all these stripes. And we're nearly there. So what might have happened in some places, and you can certainly see it on my drawing as well here, is that some of the line has got a bit lost, or it needs to be a little bit stronger because there's now color. So now that I'm done with the color in here, I'll go back to my my dark pen, and on some of the areas where the line looks a little bit weak, I could just brush that up a little, like this. And then, just to give it a little bit of depth, what you can do is, with your dark pen, you can make little lines on top of the color, if that's possible. That's up to you, of course, but if you do that, it'll make these legs appear a little bit more in the, like they're more in the background, a little bit more behind, and that gives it some depth. And the same with the chest here. You can draw some little lines here to sort of indicate the shadow of the, yeah, because it's on the underbelly. And you'll notice that we're nearly done with our wildcat now. Now onto the mouse. You know, I'm actually going to use the same color for the mouse, maybe a little bit more grey. If you have another pen, you can use that, or you can use the same color as you did the wildcat fur. And we're just going to color in the wee mouse as well. And again, if you do the same thing, once you're done with color, you can take your dark pen and just recolor bits of it. And there we are. That's the Wildcat chasing mice. If we want, we can draw in some some grass that the cat is going to be walking in, and you can add, if you draw some lines, you can add like some shadow under there. Just to indicate that that's what the cat is standing on, like that. And that's it. That's our Wildcat. Hey, and welcome to the Beaver drawing session. We're going to be drawing the beaver, found in the amazing Animal Atlas of Scotland book on page 30. And all you'll really need is a piece of paper in front of you, a pen or pencil of some kind. This is to draw the line work. And if you want to colour in the beaver as well, you'll need a pen or pencil to colour it with. Preferably a lighter tone than the one you're going to be using for the line work. I'll be using a brown colour because that is the colour of the beaver fur, but obviously feel free to use any colour that you want for your beaver. Right, let's get started. So grab your line work pencil and just follow along here. I'll be starting in the upper middle part of the paper with this sort of semicircle. That is the nose. Right above the nose, I'll be drawing slightly curved line like this. And then in here, little closed eyes. Now he's really, his eyes are closed because he's super busy eating. This guy. I'm gonna give him some ears. Now from the nose in the middle, draw a line down. And from there, draw a line out. And draw two teeth, very long teeth here. And then draw a bit of that here, that's his mouth open. Now, from the top of his ear here, draw a couple of sort of jagged lines out. This is to indicate his fur. What we'll need is for him to hold a branch. He's going to be holding it about here. So in order to do that, we actually need to draw his hands first because they're going to be sort of on top of the branch. Let's draw part of his shoulder. There's going to be a lot of elements overlapping here, so it's going to be a little bit tricky, but just follow along and you'll be fine. Draw this line and that line. That's his shoulder. From no, we can start with something simple here. From the corner of the nose here and down to the bottom here, draw a line like this. You'll see that defines his head a lot better. From the bottom here of this curve that we just drew, draw a little line out like this and like that. And then you draw circles like that almost, okay? Now go to the corner of where you drew that circle and we can draw in little fingers, and we can do that on the other side as well. And you'll see that that's actually the branch, the top part of the branch that he's eating from that we've been drawing now. And then this line here, you want to make that go all the way down. and we'll just draw out the branch here. Right, then trace this line to under the branch and then continue to draw that up and trace this line sort of down here. This is just to indicate, you know, his arms here. Do that in the other side. So you take this line, you sort of trace it without drawing to say, okay, it's going to start roughly there, and you draw that under, and this line down. It doesn't have to be so precise. You can see, just to indicate sort of these are his arms. And then from here, you draw the body down. And for this guy, I'm going to give him some grass to hide in, which is essentially sort of triangles like this. He's going to be standing in some tall grass, eating his branch here, like this. And to start with, still using the outline pencil, I can color in the branch like this, so that it's darker than his fur, and around where his fingers are, it's going to be a little bit tricky because we don't want to draw into them, over them, because that way it'll make his hands look a bit funny if we color in there. So a good exercise there in precision drawing. It's looking good. Like so. That is the branch. Draw in some squiggly lines here inside, just to indicate, you know, this is the head. You can even draw some whiskers as well. And we'll actually be ready to color in our guy here now. I'll be using this brown color, but again, feel free to color in whatever color you want. Did you know that beavers can actually eat branches underwater? And they've got an extra set of lips behind their front teeth to help them keep the water out while they do that. I think that's really amazing. Also, no other animal in Scotland eat beavers, which is pretty lucky for them, I guess. So yeah, they don't have to fear being eaten by other animals. They don't eat other animals themselves. They eat, like, you know, branches and plants. So I guess they're kind of vegetarians, really. And you notice I'm sort of colouring. See there, I messed up the line work a little bit. If that happens to you too, don't worry at all, because we can go over it again with our original pen or pencil after the colour has been put on, just to make it more clear. So I'm going to do exactly that. I just want to show you here what he looks like when he's fully coloured in. Notice I don't draw in here, right? I'm just drawing in the main bit of his head here and above the ears. And if you get too close to the eyes here, don't worry, we can draw over them after this. Now, because this part of the actually in a lighter tone than the rest. So what I'll do is, instead of drawing, you know, like I've done here, I've really drawn in solid brown. What I'll do, I'll draw lines instead, and that gives it still a sort of a brown tone, but just lighter. Than the rest, and it looks like this. And I think I'm gonna color in his hands here as well. They're a little bit darker than the rest, but what we'll do now, because you'll see I've messed up some of my line a little bit, so I'll just grab my dark pen or pencil again and go over some of that line that we destroyed a little bit. I'm just going to go over that again. Just to fix that up. And then what I'll also do once I've done that, see also his eyes here, they're not so clear. So now he's eating happily from the branch there. What I'll do inside his hands is to draw like pencil lines on top, and that makes his hands just a little bit darker without being fully black. Yeah, just to make his hands stand out a little bit. And we can, yeah, add a bit more to the branch here if we wanted to. And then on top of the color, what I do is draw little lines like this, which is sort of indicate his fur. And I can also draw a little bit of lines on top here. Like so, and then we'll just write nom 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 nom. He's really enjoying his dinner, and I think that was it. If you've got a green colored pen, you can of course color in the grass as well. Also totally fine if you don't. I'll just give it a little bit of green just to show that he's like standing in the grass. But you might not have more than one colored pen. That's totally fine. In that case, you can just, you know, leave it the white of the paper, or you can color it dark, or any color you want really. But yeah, that is how to draw the beaver from the Amazing Animal Atlas of Scotland book. I hope you enjoyed. Cheers. I hope you had fun drawing the Scottish wildcat and the beaver from the book An Amazing Animal Atlas of Scotland. And who knows, maybe you've even been inspired to draw other animals, either some of those found in Scotland or from elsewhere in the world. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and enjoy the rest of the festival, if you actually are at the Edinburgh Book Festival. Take care, all best wishes. Bye bye.